This is what happens when you listen to the fans. Woo! And welcome to the Ruby Tuesday. My name's Ruben, and this is my review for Amazon's original animated series. Well, it is now The Legend of Vox Machina. This is a non-spoiler review. Let's get into it. The Legend of Vox Machina, there are 13 episodes. They range from about 29 minutes per episode to about the 20-minute mark, depending on the episode. Amazon has given us the first 5 to review, so we're doing that. This is a very interesting story, just how it came about. So just a bit about that. Critical Role. If you know anything about Critical Role, they have these D&D characters that have been turned into this animated series because of the fans. We had Veronica Mars, which was, the fans raised, I think, 4 million, which was really impressive. But in the Kickstarter campaign, the fans here raised, I think it was 12 million, which is astounding. And this is why you should listen to your fans, because when they come together and they love on something or they hate on something, they can move industry, and this is a prime example. So we get an animated series with an eclectic voice cast with a very interesting story, and some of the voice cast you'll recognize, some real treats here. David Tennant and Felicia Day. Those are just like some of the guests. We obviously still have the Critical Role characters picking up their voice cast, and we go on this adventure of this mishap. I think a group, you can call them group loosely. They're a bunch of guys that have various roles, or various characters. One's a bard that is like just hypersexual and wants to have sex with anything that moves. You have the big ogre. Characters of an eclectic group that aren't really heroes. They're kind of friends, but they just want to make as much money as they can, drink along the way, but now they have to save their kingdom because of a big bad. You know how it goes. It's that sort of animated series. The first 5 episodes, it's a very interesting mixed bag, because the first 2 episodes really is introducing you to this wonderful world, and it's animated beautifully. I do have to say from the outset, if you were thinking this was something like The Dragon Prince on Netflix because of its animation, you'd be wrong. The animation is similar in style, but I would avoid the little ones, probably 15 and up, like at the very least. It's very much adult, from language to the sexual content you see to the all-out gore. Teens will love this, and adults who love animation, like like the Boys series and the Boys series animated series that's coming, Invincible. Along that lines, this is kind of what you'll be cutting your teeth on. So bear that in mind. Don't stick this on as like, yeah, my little ones are going to love this, and then walk onto screen and seen a bard do a thing to an elf lady. Yeah. So the first 2 episodes really are introducing you to the world, but that doesn't mean that they step back and go, oh, this is what this does, here is the lore. Rather, they just shove you into an adventure of a thing that they need to do to make some money so they can get some more drinks. And along the way, you are introduced to the characters, who are very eclectic in their own way, not really having any backstory just yet in those first 2 episodes. It's more about who they are in the moment, and I like it. And the score kind of brings you into that very quest-like adventure. It feels like D&D that you're watching it on screen, which is perfection, because if you've ever played D&D, there's going to be things that be like, yeah, that would be the Critical Role. If you've ever played D&D, you're going to love this, I think. For the most part, those 2 episodes at the beginning really are introducing you into what you can expect. But really, the wider arc doesn't start until episode 3. And it's surprising at how many emotional beats it has just in the next 3 episodes. Lots of character growth, lots of character depth. One particular character, without going into spoilers, we get to find out about him and his past, and then we follow that story along the way. And if you think our heroes, even though some has magic and some has unique theft skills, they all have their abilities, they seem quite strong. But as a tried and tested storyline arc, the things that they are up against, the monsters, the people, are always so much stronger than them, and it will take them coming together and learning to be a group and a crew and learning about each other. And that's the story, basically, before they will be able to defeat their foes. And even then, we're not sure, because just when it seems like they might actually be able to do something, there's I guess a curveball is thrown, and you're like, oh crap, who's going to survive here? It's one thing that I was quite surprised by. They sometimes introduce characters literally just in the first 5 episodes, and you're like, I like that character, and you're like, bye, because then they're gone, which is great because it keeps you on edge. there is a sense of, oh, there's real consequence. So even though they're bantering, they're swearing at each other, there's sex going on, lots of lewd drinking and nonsense, when they come together and they're trying to fight, it looks like they're always on the back pedal. They're just trying to survive the horrors that are on them. One particular episode, there's a bunch of creatures that look wraith-like. I won't go into it, so you can get them in their horror in all their glory, but it really feels like they're totally going to die. Obviously, we're going to have them for the 13 episodes. We don't know how many is going to survive by the end, but Amazon have already picked this up for a second season, so we know there's I believe they're talking about a complete story within the 2 series. So 26 episodes, almost exactly like you get in an anime. 26 episodes is kind of standard sometimes for an arc, and we don't know if we're going to get more after that, but for now there is a complete story coming, so they won't leave us hanging, which is great. Hopefully we won't have to wait too long, although we've waited quite a while for this 13 episodes. Let me know what you feel about the first 3 that dropped this Friday. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So far I'm heading on the high scale of enjoyment. It does come across, because of the animation, as a young audience animated series, but then it tackles themes that are quite adult, so it has a mixed bag. It is definitely for geeks and nerds, but these days, who isn't a geek and nerd in some way? I think if you love animation and you love the adult version of the animation, and then you love quest storylines to save the day, to go on the journey, then you're going to find this is really entertaining and a lot of fun. So let me know your thoughts down below. Once the first 3 episodes drop down below, let me know what you thought about those. I think it's weekly then, and so you're probably going to have to wait to watch all 13 together, or watch an episode at a time. Let me know your thoughts on that. Thanks so much for watching, but most of all, until next time, remember, live long Tuesday.